and today I'm going to be talking about menstruation and using period blood in a ritualistic manner. So I just shared some stories and some reels about me offering the blood to the earth. And I just want to clarify and give a little bit of my perspective of what it means to me doing that, and also how is it that I started to do that, and the impact that that had into my life. So before anything, I just want to mention that last week, like actually last weekend, so some days ago, I was offering my blood here in this area. This is the area I always go in the mountains because I love it, and I can be alone and sunbathe naked, and I love that, and connect. And I know the plants, I know the trees, so it's just a beautiful space where I come. And I started offering to different trees and different areas throughout this whole space. And I was offering my blood with the intention of returning this primordial, like, birth soup into the earth. Because if you think about it, this blood is water, and the water is where we stem from, and the water carries the information. So when we are preparing to be giving birth, also there is the aspect of breaking the waters, right? So waters are always present in our life. The fact that the moon moves water also gives a hint of the polarization, of the impact of the magnetics and the polar opposites that water create, and the movement of emotions as well, because emotions are energy and motion, and this energy is moved through the waters in ourselves and the waters of our womb. So as I was mentioning, I was giving the water, and I was diluting my blood with water so that I could plant it there, well, offer it in different areas. And then today when I came here, it was so beautiful and synchronistic, because as I said, something magic starts to happen, and you don't really I don't really know how to really explain what is it when you start offering the blood to the earth that happens, but magical things happen. And today I came here, and I found, just literally here is the spot where I always sit and you always see me recording videos from here. And look what I found, this beautiful feather. I don't know if you can see it, like this beautiful blue feather. And actually, look, I'm dressing with this beautiful blue dress and, and I'm having everything blue and the blue, like, thing to sit on the floor, so everything was like blue. And I'm like, are you serious? And then I went around, and I checked, and no, it was the only one, and it was literally here for me. I know that feathers are a sign of communication, of guides, of higher spirits and ancestors, and I know that there is this deep communication that happened here from a gift of this offering, and as a confirmation, because I've just been talking to you about this topic. So anyway, beautiful feather magic. So always pay attention to the signs, because sometimes we think that we are alone, and the more you pay attention to the signs is when you start to recognize and have an interconnected dialogue with the spirit realm. And it is not something like crazy, or it is not something that, oh yeah, look at her, right? No, that's guidance, because you are the creator of your reality. So the moment that you know that you're giving hints to yourself to keep believing, to keep going on this journey, when something is in alignment, and when something is not in alignment, to receive the signs of of the journey. For instance, I remember I was living in Guatemala, and back then we were going to see to move into a house, and I got attacked by a dog, and it was like the house was almost everything was a yes, but that reaction was something that was like, okay, it's something telling me I'm not welcome there, I should not go there. So looking back now, I'm so grateful that that happened, because I understood the sign. So navigating intuition and navigating signs is something that comes different for different people. So for me, in my own essence and how I work with, I know that listening to the synchronistic numbers, for instance. There's certain numbers that mean different things to me, and I kept seeing them on repeat throughout my journey. And then I know that whenever I see a number, I go into presence, I go into connection with spirit, because it's not that that's fun, synchronistic numbers, but numbers are harmonics of the universe. So the universe is moving through frequency, and it is through these harmonics that we are experiencing life, through these waves of energy. So anyway, I'm I'm just going changing topic, but I just want to say, because it's tied to this intuition, right? To developing your intuition, to your connection with nature. Because what it is to have connection with nature, like I never really understood whenever I heard before, like, oh, nature, you go to nature and it's very nice, it's fresh, but actually something really deep happens, because we are always in our minds, and we are always in constant movement, and in constant movement within ourselves, inside and also outside. When we're surrounded with other humans, it's really, really hard to be present. And by presence, I mean being still. You can still be doing things, but within you have this certain stillness, and you have this perception of observation of yourself. So you are in constant observation of yourself as you get to do things in life. What does that mean? That you don't run unconscious programs so often, and of course you do, because we do that. And as long as we keep becoming observant of all that we're behaving, all that we're talking, all that we're thinking, becoming the observer of our thoughts, it's when we are able to identify with spirit. You can call it spirit, you can call it God, you can call it the essence of creation, the seed of creation, the love, the unconditional presence, the universe. So in this case, I would like to call it spirit, because spirit for me reflects that timelessness, and reflects that inner, like, knowingness that we all have, because we all come from it, but we have been so identified with our bodies and with our minds that we are not able to truly disidentify, and it is a matter of practice. So for me, offering my blood to the earth, it's an offering of this communion with spirit, with this force that is ruling which is nature. I mean, the force that is ruling the universe. And when I start giving back, I receive. And it's not that I do it to receive, but then I get to pick some medicinal plants and don't feel guilty. Oh, I'm pulling a plant. No, I'm actually honoring the exchange, honoring the giving and the taking, honoring the vegetables that I'm eating, because it's coming from earth. And yeah, this is just for me to explain why is it that like, what does it feel like, and why would you like to do that? Is because we are so disconnected in this society. We live in concrete buildings, we live in structures that are not natural. They are man-made through the minds of humans, and anything that has to is created from the mind and not from the heart, it's not going to be in sync with nature. And the fact that it's not in sync with nature, it's also creating this harmony in our own energetic field. So that's why they say go to nature often so that you recharge. And why I do that is because once you are in nature, you truly feel grounded, because you're connected to this exchange, and everything is physics. It's not like spiritual stuff. It's physics. It's literally physics. So the moment we are so much with these electronics and the EMFs and all of this radiation, we get charged up. How are we removing that charge? With salts, baths with salts, or coming into nature, touching the earth, feeling into the earth, and also grounding every day from your core and your energy. Know what your energy feels like, and then ground down to the earth. So yeah, this is just a way to express, why is going and doing these rituals important, and why is it for me, and that I say that women should connect to this, because women, we have such a strong power, but this society has really disconnected us from our true essence. I remember having periods and really painful and almost passing out, and really thinking that was the normal thing, and really thinking that okay, there was no other way, there's once a month, and I hate that time, and it became ugly, and everything was like and I was using tampons, and tampons are gross, and or pads, and everything was gross and blood, and it's like and then you get stains everywhere, and then it's like there is this feeling of like not honoring our nature as feminine beings. And when I started using my cup, silicone cup, and it's really nice because you collect the blood, I started seeing the blood as blood. It's like, wow, it's no longer like some sort of like wet thing, it's actually blood, and what can I do with it? And I started painting with it, and that was like a really profound ritual. It's like you're painting with blood. It's something like deep happens in terms of like the sacredness of this creation that you are this energy that would have been used for creating alive, it's been used to create something else. So it's also honoring that and honoring that aspect. And so my invitation is for you to start connecting with your cycle if you don't do it already, because there's something magical that happens, and yeah, I think for everyone it's completely different, but when you start honoring your time, honoring this time of the month, and knowing that you have higher access to connection, like to divine connection, you realize actually that it is it is a blessing to be on your moon. And you can do things like yoni steaming, which is using some herbs, and you steam your womb, and you do that, and of course there's guidelines to do that, and you do that. And for instance, before this moon, I did that, and this moon was like pain free, and this is not very usual like for me. Like I used to get really strong pain, and no, it was such a beautiful bleed, and delightful, and like I was tired, but it was fine. So there's techniques that we have not been taught, because there was this patriarchy that was ruling and was disconnecting us from our power. Because once we connect to our power, we connect to our womb, we are so powerful women, because we are driving from our hearts. And the thing that differs us from men is that men don't have this connection with the heart so quickly. Of course, everyone has it, right? But the women has this sensitivity to feelings and emotions, and this devotion that comes really natural. And that's why, for instance, in the like tantric traditions, actually women were the ones that were leading the way, because men would learn from women. So actually having access to this higher connection is something that has been prevented. It's something that was not encouraged, because they didn't want us to have power. So the connection and the reclaiming of your power is something that you can do in your life. And also know that you don't have to make anyone else responsible, any man responsible for what you're feeling. But when you start honoring your cycle for yourself, not for anyone else, just start for yourself, you nurture yourself in those days, everything shifts. Because now you know all your needs are met, and then you're not being cranky towards your partner or family. And it's like, okay, I'm honoring myself. I'm going to take space off. I'm not going to work those days, and honoring that. So, well, I hope that clarified a little bit, and I just wanted to share the magic of finding that feather as well. And yeah, let me know in the comments as well. If you want to go deeper, if you want to learn about the womb, awakening femininity, connecting to nature, connecting to the energies, and also creating a deeper connection with spirit and your intuition, and finding out also the aspects of synchronization of the planets and astrology, and how everything is interconnected, reach out. I would love to guide you in a one-to-one container, and in a safe space where you can feel safe, you can feel heard, and then we can explore deeper, because I would love to guide you. I would love to guide you into this new version of empowered women, because that's something I believe it's so necessary, to empower women in a feminine way. So so much love to all of you. Also men, if you're listening, thank you. Share it with the women, and sending you all the love. Mhm.